we are going to start with the second part of it, that is the business, finance and marketing. Okay, so this is related with the business, finance and marketing. Finance and marketing, these two category of business is concerned in this one. And the first chapter of this one, that is unit 9, financial management. Okay. So financial management, financial decisions and financial planning. First we have to study about what is financial management. Okay, we will study about the meaning of financial management concept. The major goal of any business concern is to make profit for its owners by selling goods and services. To reach this goal, finance is required. In this context, it can be said that finance is the soul of any business concern. Keeping in this view, the proper management of finance is absolutely necessary in every business. Three main questions which are regarding finance are: how much finance will be required from different business activities, for different business activities, how much of it will be obtained from different sources, and how will the profit earned from different business activities be distributed. Okay. So finance is considered as the most important thing. If you are starting any business, like we are doing business, what is the purpose of doing business? Earning profit, isn't it? So earning profit, and for earning profit, the main thing is that we need to have is that. So for starting business, what is the most important thing required? Capital, money is required, isn't it? Finance is required. So whenever we are, and if see, like every companies are starting with the finance, they are spending money, they are having, but some companies are making profit, but some companies are not making profit. So you know what is the reason behind this one? Okay, why there are some companies making profit and other companies making loss? That is the way that they are making use of. Like if one company, there are two companies, one company is started with 100 crore rupees, another company is also starting with 100 crore rupees. Okay, so at the end of maybe like after 2 years, one company made 20 crore rupees of profit, and another company made 30 crore rupees of loss. Okay, so this may be quite possible, you might have seen. So one of the main reason behind this one, whether a company is making profit or making loss, is depending on the management of finance, how the company is managing the finance. Okay, proper management of finance is not there. See, like there are people, those who are, you might have seen even in Bible there is a story of talents. In most of this one it is told. Have you heard this one? The story of talents. There was a story in the Bible, it is there. So it is already most of the time it is said. So it is like this: there was a businessman, or there was a owner of a businessman, and he wanted to go for a tour, like he was going for some other foreign country, and he was having some servants. So he gave them some money. It is called as like talents. So to one person he gave 5,000, maybe like dollars or dinar it is there. So they gave 5,000 dinars. Or to another person he gave 2,000, and to the third person he gave only 1,000. Okay. So there are three people, A, B, C, three people are there. To the first person he gave 5,000, to the second person he gave 2,000, and to the other one he gave only 1,000. Okay. So what the other people they did is that the first one, what he did is that he started doing business with the 5,000 rupees that he has received, and he made 5,000 more by the time the master came back. Okay, after 1 year or 2 years, the master came back. Then he asked the servants to bring back the money which he has brought, which he has given. So the first person he brought the money and said that you had given me 5,000 and I made 5,000 more with that money. So now I am having 10,000 and I am giving it to you. So he has said that I made 5,000 profit. Another person, second person was there. He also came forward and he said that you had given me 2,000 and I made 2,000 more. So he made also almost 100% of profit he has made. But the third person, the 1,000 rupees was given to him. But what he did is that he made a hole in the earth and he dig this money under the earth. So he was storing this money there underground. And when the master came back, then he took out this money and gave back to the master. So 1,000 was given, just 1,000 rupees was given back. Okay. Then the master said that at least you could have given this money to the bank, you know, so money lenders like that, or the bank. At that time there was no bank at all. But to the people, those who are, at that time there was like these money lenders, like people were there. So they used to collect money, just like bank. Okay, they used to collect money from people and they used to give money also to the people. So if you deposit money there, they will give you some interest. And if you take loan from there, for that also you need to give some interest. And when the deposit money is there, for that little less interest will be there. But when you are taking loan, more. That same way the bank is for process. So he said that you could have given it to the, at least you could have given them in the deposited in the bank. At least some interest would have been there. Now this money is simply wasted. Wasted means there is no any profit made. Just 1,000 was given, 1,000 is there. Okay. So this is the way some business also. So it is the first person, he was efficient in managing, so he had some money and he made the double of this money that he had. You know, many of the companies are there. If you study about the history of the companies, even like Tata, or if you consider about Reliance, or the whatever may be, okay, Bill Gates, even whoever may be there, any company if you consider, do you think that they have started from this much big position? No. All these companies started from very small positions. Okay, they started just like there are some companies which started in their local area itself. You know, so they started as a small company, very small scale company, or a very like a home trading company like that. They started and they invested very less amount of money, like 5 lakh rupees or less than 1 lakh rupees. That much amount of investment only was there. But school also, everything, not only this one. Our school, if you study this one, they say now those students, those who are here, like 2 years back, there were students those who studied from the first year onwards, or this they started studying from LKG onwards. And at the time of farewell, they were telling that this one, that see, like when they came, only 3 classrooms were there, you know. And only classes up to some 20-25 students only were there first. So everything is there starting from small, you know. So when they do the work properly, when the things are going on, when the management is done properly. So the main element of a business, the success of a business is depending on the financial management. How do we manage the finance? Okay. Now let us study the definitions of. So there are 3 main questions that are to be considered when we are studying about financial management. First one is that how much finance will be required for the different business activities. So like if you imagine that you are going to start a business. Okay. Now you are going to start a business. So before you start a business, there are 3 main questions that you have to consider, or 3 main decisions that you have to make. First one is that how much money is required. You know, how much finance is required for the different activities. Okay. Whatever may be the activity that we are going to do, we are planning this one. You know, so like imagine that you are going to make a house. First, what you are going to make decision? First, you will plan about what plan will be there, like planning when you do. What is the main consideration that you are taking? You will consider the money amount. You know, so how much money you are having? Or if you want to make like this one house, like one when you are asking whether like this planning is there, so they will show some design of this house, like the 3 bedrooms are there, 1 hall is there, and this one, that one, and how much is the estimated minimum cost of this one? Some 30 lakh rupees, isn't it? So you will first decide whether you are having or you will be able to make this 30 lakh or not, isn't it? That is the first consideration. How much is the expenditure that is expected for this one? Just imagine that you are going to the market for purchasing a shirt. Then also first, what is the consideration? You will see how much money you are having in your pocket. So you want to purchase a pant and shirt, and how much money you are having. If you are having some like 2,000 rupees, you can purchase like some 1,000 rupees of pant and 1,000 rupees shirt. So that may be enough. If you are having some 5,000 rupees, you can purchase a pant for 3,000 rupees and a shirt for 2,000 rupees. So how much money you are having? If you are having only 1,000 rupees, you have to purchase one pant for 500 rupees and shirt for 500 rupees. So you have to adjust the amount of the things that you are going to purchase. Do you understand? So whatever may be the things that we are going to do, but the main consideration that we are going to take is the money that we are having and how to make it, or how much money is required for doing this activity. The second question that we have to consider is that how much of it will be obtained from different sources. Okay, so if imagine that when you are going to start a company, so you made a decision that 300 crore rupees is required for this starting this company. Okay. So 300 crore is the estimated cost of starting a company. So if you want to start, this much money is required. That is the first decision. So first question we are asked, how much money is required? 300 crore rupees required. So that first question over. Second question is that how we will get this money? How to collect this money? So what are the different sources that we can? So maybe like some 50 crore rupees is with you. Some 100 crore rupees or 150 crore rupees you can take like shares, you can invest like shares will be there, and how much 100 maybe like debentures will be there. Okay, so different sources. Okay, so some this also will be like again divided like this equity shares, how much will be there, preferential shares, how much will be there. Okay, so bank loan, if you want to take bank loan, how much is required, if your own money is there, then what? All these, or if any friends contribution partnership firm, if you are starting, how much proportion will be there, all these type of decisions we have to consider. So how much money, how we will be collecting this money from different sources. And the third question will be there, like how will the profit earned from different business activities be distributed. So another important question is that like when you have like 300 rupees you are having, 300 crore rupees you are having, and you collected from different sources, and the next question that we have to handle is that how we will distribute the profit that we are getting. So imagine that if you are taking 100 crore rupees of debentures. So debentures, if you take, what is the problem of debentures? Debentures and bank loan, they both are having one problem is there, one limitation is there. It means that you need to give fixed amount of interest you have to give. If your company is in profit or loss, you have to give interest. So like if you are taking 50 crore rupees of loan, if your company is in profit or loss, you have to pay the interest. So this is a burden for the company. And this one, if debentures are taken, and if you like, if 10% interest debentures are taken, that 10% anyhow you have to give. Okay. Then next one, like here 150 crore rupees of shares are there. In that, there will be some equity shares will be there, some preference shares will be there. So equity shares are there. If you take equity shares, if the company is in loss, you need not to pay any money to them. But if the profit is there more, then we have to give more money to them. That's all. Okay. So if initial stages, if the company is making more amount of this type of sources like debentures and bank loan and all fixed cost debentures, finance, if you are taking, then in the initial stages, company will not be making much amount of profit. If a company is starting, it will take some 5 years time to establish this company, and it will take long time for the company to come into a successful position. So in the initial stage, if you are taking more amount of debentures, bank loan and so on, then if you are getting little bit amount of profit, that will be shared among the different members, and equity shareholders will not be getting anything. Okay. So that we have to decide how this profit will be distributed, or whether the profit is like if 300 crore rupees invested and we made some 20 crore rupees of profit is there made. Okay. So if 20 crore rupees profit is made, out of this profit, how much portion will be given to the like interest anyhow you have to pay, all this expenditure will be calculated. Then whether this money can be remained in the business itself as like a retained earnings, isn't it? So we will be keeping this money in the business itself for the further transactions, or maybe like 20 crore is received, 10 crore will be kept as a retained earning and 10 crore will be distributed among the shareholders. So that will be decided how much profit, how much part of the profit has to be distributed and how it will be getting distributed. All these things are the main things that we have to consider in the financial management. Now let us study about the financial management definition. There are two definitions given there. First one is of J.L. Massey, that financial management is the operational activity of a business that is responsible for obtaining and effectively utilizing the funds necessary for efficient operations. So it is the way in which how we obtain the different money. Okay, finance required for how to get this money and how to make use of this money, how to utilize this money. Okay, or another one is J.F. Bradley. Financial management is that area of business management devoted to a judicious use of capital and a careful selection of sources of capital in order to enable a spending unit to move in a direction of reaching its goals. So how to collect this? Both are discussing about how we will obtain the money. You know, how we will select the different sources which are the best sources, and how we will get this money, and how we will make use of this money. You understand? So these are the main things that we have to consider in the financial management. Next we have to study is about the role of financial management. Financial management has an important role to play in a business organization. Decisions taken by the financial management have a direct bearing on the financial statements, that is a trading and profit and loss account or a balance sheet. They are the statements which reflect the progress of the business. For the determination of the various items of the financial statement, the financial management has the following role to play. So there are the decisions made by the financial management is going to reflect in the financial statements. You know, there are mainly three financial statements are there, like a trading and loss account, trading account, and profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So if you want to see, like imagine that if you are investing money into the share market. Okay, so if you are interested, if you are having some money and you want to invest the money into the share market, first a person, what he will do is that he will open the company's website, and in the company's website the previous years these financial statements will be given. Okay, the balance sheet of the company will be there, profit and loss account will be there, trading account will be there, all these things will be shown there. Okay, so if you clearly study about the last 5 years of the company, okay, so like if in 2015 what was the performance of the company, in 2016 what was the performance of the company, how much improvement in profit will be there, all these type of things we can study. Okay, so 5 to 10 years we have to study about the company, and also we can say that the what is the position of the share market. Okay, or for this company what was the like different companies will have different like up and downs will be there. Okay, so some companies will be there, in some months this company will be very much high and some months it will be going down. Okay, like if companies are dealing with the seasonal products and so on, then when good season is there, or depending on the different situations, the profit of the company will be going very much high, and sometimes it will be going down. Okay, so there will be different. So if you study about the performance of the company for the last 4 or 5 years, then we will be able to make the proper investment. So people, everybody, they will be evaluating whether a company is successful or not successful depending on the financial statements. Okay, profit and loss account, trading account and the balance sheet. And the most important thing considered is the balance sheet of the company. Okay, so if you just look at the balance sheet of the company for the last few years, you can understand that what is the condition of this company. Okay, so there are some kind of roles that the financial management is doing that we will study. First one, determination of fixed assets. Fixed assets have an important contribution in the profits of the business organization. Under the financial management, the total investment in the fixed assets and every separate fixed assets are determined. This is done through capital budgeting. For example, if it has been decided in the capital budgeting to invest rupees 500 crore, there will be an increase of rupees 500 crores in the fixed assets. So first important thing the financial management is to consider determining the fixed assets. How much amount of fixed assets the company will be having. Okay, or how much amount of fixed assets are necessary for the company. So that will be depending on the capital. So if how much capital if a company is having, depending on that we can or how much fixed assets are there required for the company, based on that we can decide how much capital is required. Isn't it? Like imagine that if you want to start a school. So if you want to start a school, if you are like a CBSE school, if you want to start, as per the CBSE guidelines, there are classrooms required. The size of the classroom is prescribed there, and we should have proper playgrounds. There should be proper toilet facilities and other type of all the facilities are required. So there are some guidelines given there. So some we have to purchase land, we have to make building, we have to make a playground. So all these are there, and other kind of furniture is required. All these fixed assets are. So we can calculate how much amount of fixed assets required. Okay, and imagine that if you are going to start like a car manufacturing company. Okay, so if a car manufacturing company is to be started, then investment required will not be just like that. Okay, for a school we may have like 2-3 acres of land is there, 4-5 classrooms are there, and some playground is there. With that we can start. Isn't it? Some 10 lakh, 20 lakh rupees is there, then 20 lakh it will not be there. Some 2-3 crore rupees will be there. Then with that we can start a school. Isn't it? So maximum some 5 crore rupees is there. We can start a good school. Somewhat about some building. Afterwards they will be expanding. But that will not be the situation of a car manufacturing company. If you want to start a car manufacturing company, you need to have a big factory for producing the cars, and also you need a very big machineries are there, very costly machines are there, equipments are there, and we need to like parts has to be manufactured, then other parts are there, and painting is polishing, and all the so many activities are to be performed, isn't it? And not only that, we need to have distribution centers like showrooms and all are required. So we have to make showrooms all around the places. So much amount of fixed assets are required for that, isn't it? So depending on the type of business that we are going to do, and also the depending on the capital that we are having, we will be deciding how much amount of fixed assets are required, determining the fixed assets, how much amount of fixed assets required. Okay. Second decision is second role is the determination of the current assets. Current assets are needed in a day-to-day transactions of a business. Under the financial management, the total investment in current assets and every separate current asset is required. For example, if the investment in current assets is rupees 100 crore, it will be then determined how much should be invested in cash, stock, debtors, etc. Okay. So next decision that we have to make is the next role is that about determining the current assets required. Okay. Imagine that if you are starting a shop, okay, maybe like this margin-free market, like or such a shop is there. So then for that actually there is no big like fixed assets are not required much, you know. So like some building and all is required, but more amount or more investment is to be made in the current assets, you know. So like there are so many amount of stocks required, and things are to be displayed there, proper facility, all the things should be there. Whatever when a customer comes, then whatever he is demanding, those products will be ready there. Okay, so they need a more amount of current assets. So how much amount of current assets required? That is another major important decision that the company needs to make. So this is also how much amount of current assets are required. That much amount of capital has to be obtained. Yes, so first they will decide how much amount of fixed assets are required. Secondly, they will decide how much amount of current assets are required. Determination of current assets. Then next one, determination of proportion of long-term and short-term finance. All the financial needs of business are fulfilled through long-term and short-term sources. Under financial management, a proportion of both the financial sources is determined. Long-term sources provide capital for a business for a long time. Therefore, their use increases liquidity, meaning thereby that the business has the capacity to make quick payments in respect of daily payments. At the same time, cost of long-term sources is higher than the cost of short-term sources. Therefore, if there is more liquidity is required in business, more cost shall have to be borne, and vice versa. Under financial management, the proportion of both these sources is determined on the basis of liquidity and cost analysis. So the next important decision is about the determination of short-term sources of finance and long-term sources of finance. Okay. So short-term, long-term sources of finance means that it is like equity shares. Okay. So equity share is a long-term source of finance. If you are investing a share, if you take money, the capital, when the company starts, this money is used, and when company closes, only this money has to be given back. Isn't it? So the money that we are collecting from the equity shares, the company has to pay back only when the company is closing. After the closing of company, only the money will be paid back. Okay. But if you are taking a bank loan, so maybe like if a company is running for 50 years, this equity shares will be remaining there for 50 years. Do you understand? But we will be in between. Sometimes the company may be like there are so many other current assets and all are there. Current short-term finance will be available. Okay. So some credit will be given, some even like a bank loan also. Bank loan also can be, sometimes it will be for long time also it will be there. So many different sources can be given of short-term finance also. So if you are taking long-term finance, the problem is that if you are taking long-term finance is there, so depending on the how much amount of fixed assets are required. Mostly the amount of long-term assets is depending on the fixed assets. If you are having more amount of fixed assets required, then more long-term sources of finance required. Okay, and if you are only having short-term finance, only current assets are more required, then we can have short-term finance only. Isn't it? Like if a margin-free market, if you are having, so that little bit money will be there. With that, we can purchase the product, and when we sell it, then that money we will get back. Such a way we can make use of it. We can roll the money. Current asset we cannot, once you purchase it and after that you cannot sell it easily and make money. It is not possible to do like that. Do you understand? So, and also the amount of the money that we are having. See, for example, if we are giving more, how much cash we have to keep with us, or how much amount of stock we have to keep. All these type of things depending on the sources. Like liquidity is there. So liquidity means the amount of short-term finances that we are supposed to have. Okay, means easily we have to pay back money, or the things which is in the form of easy money. So like cash is there, or a stock is also considered as we can say it will depending on the liquidity, because suddenly we can sell it and we can make it money. Okay, but if we are having like building is there, so if we are in need of this money, suddenly we cannot sell the building. Or we cannot, it is, if we want to sell it also, then it is not easy that today you think that the school is to be sold. Tomorrow we say that we are going to sell the school. Nobody will come to purchase it. So we have to find so much time, we have to search for the people, there will be some investors. If anybody is required, then only they will come and see, and after that they will make decisions. Then it will take so much time to sell it. So there is like a long-term and a short-term finance requirement we have to understand, and based on that we have to make the decisions. How much amount of long-term finance is required and how much amount of short-term finance is required. So a balance has to be maintained. If you are having too much amount of long-term finance, it is a burden for the company, because we have to give more interest. And if you are having only short-term finance, if you are having more, then it's like a fixed assets, current asset, so much amount of fixed assets and all we cannot have. So there will be a balance between long-term assets and long-term finance and short-term finance. So more amount of long-term finance will be there, and less amount of around like 60 to 40% as an average it will be maintained. Okay, or some companies may be using 70 to 30 or 75 to 25. So whatever may be depending on the company, and it is depending on the financial decisions of the company. The next one, determination of the proportion of various sources of long-term finance. Long-term finance sources include like primarily equity share capital, preference share capital, retained earnings, debentures, long-term loan, etc. Under financial management, the proportion of the various long-term financial sources is determined. All the sources have their merits and demerits. After making an analysis of their merits and demerits, a balanced decision is taken. Another important decision is that so we know that we need to have like as I told you just before the previous step, we will decide that how much amount of long-term finance is required and how much amount of short-term finance is required. Okay, total capital is required when it is 100 crore rupees. In that we decide that 70 crore rupees we are taking from long-term sources and 30 crore rupees from short-term sources. Okay. Now this 70 crore is there. This 70 crore, how we will get it? Okay. So this will be using different type of different sources we can select for this 70 crore. Okay. So it will be deciding maybe like some amount of money for equity share capital, some amount of money from debentures, some amount of money from bank loans or preference shares. So different sources are there for long-term finances, and which are the different sources required. Okay, so either we can take all this money from equity share capital itself, or we can say like some money can be taken from equity share and some can be of preference shares, or some companies will be taking some money for equity shares, some preference shares, some debentures, or some may be including the bank loan also. Okay, so that will be depending on the company's decision how much money is required. So if all these sources will have merits and demerits. Okay, if you are taking equity shares, then also merits are there as well as demerits are there. Okay, if you take a bank loan, there also merits are there, demerits are there. So bank loan we can get it easily, and if you want to make it but it is a fixed burden is there. You know, so bank loan, getting a bank loan is not much expenditure is not there. But if you want to collect equity share capital, very long procedure is there. You know, so we have to make this money, and we have to publish our company's name in the share market, and we have to take so much amount of formalities are there. But for bank loan, that much formalities are not there. Okay, but there are problems also. Like you cannot simply ask for any amount of money. You know, like some 500 crore rupees required bank loan, give like that. If you go and ask them, they will not. You know. If you go and ask for some 5 lakh rupees loan also, they are asking hundreds of documents. So they will see so many documents, they will ask 10 times you have to go, then so many procedures are. It is not easy, but comparing with the equity share capital, making availability of equity share capital, this one is somewhat easy. For company, like if a well-established company is there, so like if a Tata company is asking a bank to give some 100 crore rupees loan, they will get it easily. There is no any kind of problem. You know. So they will have all the documents required, and they will provide the documents, and because they know that this money is invested, so the company is in a successful position, so they will be able to get this money. Do you understand? But when we are asking money, they will not give, because they don't have any any trust is not there, because we have not established this. But once if you are making a company, successful company, if you are running, and after that if you are demanding for a loan, then they will give it. So in the initial stages, more amount of equity share capital and the preference share capital and all is required. So that they will decide how much amount of equity share capital required, how much amount of preference share capital required, how much debenture should be there, how much bank loan should be there. All this decision has to be taken. The next step is called as the determination of various items of profit and loss account. Various items include in the profit and loss account influenced or affected by the different financial decisions. For example, interest is related to the amount of debt, depreciation is related to the amount of long-term assets, discount is related to the proportion of liquidity, which means that if the position of liquidity is good, discount can be earned by making timely payments. So what are the things to be included in the profit and loss account? So there are some kind of things which is coming in the profit and loss account. You have studied about profit and loss account, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there are so many interest will be there or discount will be there, all these type of commissions are there, all these type of things will be coming in the profit and loss account. So how much item has to be coming there, that will be deciding based on the decisions that the financial management is making. Okay, so if they are giving more discount, then that will be displayed in the profit and loss account. If they pay if they are not providing any discount, then this will not be appearing. If commissions are provided, or if commissions, or if any bills receivable and all are there, so those things they will be paying back on timely payments are made, then this will not be appearing in the profit and loss account. Okay, or within the financial period, if they complete all the payments, then those things will not be appearing. Do you understand? So these are the different role of financial management. Next, we have to study about the objectives of financial management. What are the purpose or objectives of the financial management? Objectives of financial management are directly related to the fact as to what should be the uppermost in the mind of a financial manager while taking three financial decisions, namely investment decision, financing decision and dividend decision. Obviously, he should concentrate on serving the interest of the owners of the business to the maximum extent. In short, objectives of financial management is to maximize the wealth of the shareholders. So, the one and only purpose of the or the objective of financial management is the wealth maximization, okay, or increasing the amount of profit. So not only the profit but wealth maximization means that the company should be having a better position. Do you understand? So profit maximization means that we cannot simply only the amount of profit that we are getting, but wealth maximization means that all the things are included. So the company should grow. So the growth of the company can be seen. If it's like just by selling product and if see like there are some companies, some duplicate products and all are available. So they are selling the product. They are selling, see like 100 rupees value will be there of the product. They will sell it for 500 rupees, and they will get 400 rupees profit. So we can say that high profit is there. But that company cannot sustain in the market for a long period. A person will purchase this product only once. And if I purchase this product, I will go and say to everybody that this product is a fake one. So you should not purchase it, isn't it? So such a way, after 1 or 2 years, this company, if they are trying to sell the product will not be purchased by any customers. So the company has to close. So they will have more profit, but wealth maximization will not be there. But if a company is selling very high quality product, very genuine products with a less amount of per unit cost or per unit profit will be very less. But the company will be giving very good quality product to the customers in a very appropriate price. Then people will be interested to purchase this product. And if once I purchase the product once, and if I am satisfied with this product, then again and again that person will purchase, and we will also recommend others also to purchase. So such a way the number of units will increase. So the company will grow. Sustained performance will be there. The growth of the company will be there. See like once if the company is selling 100 products, next month the company will sell 200 products, and they will be growing like that. Okay, so this will be there. So that is the wealth maximization. Next we will study about how wealth maximization is there. What is the wealth maximization? According to this approach, owner's interest can be best served by wealth maximization, and this is the real objective of financial management. Wealth maximization means to increase the capital invested in the business by shareholders. Okay, So wealth maximization means that the total amount of the capital invested will be increasing. Okay, so like if the company is having 3 crores in the beginning, then this will be increasing by like a retained earning will be there, additional shares will be there. So such a way the company means it shows that the company is growing. Okay.